Some action movies aim for thrills, others chase laughs, but a rare few manage to deliver both, combining explosions with punchlines and car chases with comedy. From clueless spies and mismatched cops to martial arts mayhem, these are the movies that proved action and humor can go hand in hand. Rowan Atkinson is one of the few actors who can nail physical comedy, and Johnny English proves just how well that talent fits within a spy action setting. In this 2003 comedy, Atkinson plays the wildly incompetent MI7 agent Johnny English, a man full of misguided confidence and lucky timing. When all the other agents are taken out, English becomes the last hope to recover the stolen British crown jewels. With his clumsy gadgets, odd instincts, and the help of his dependable sidekick, English fumbles his way through one misadventure after another. Whether confusing toothpaste for a secret weapon or interrogating the wrong person, the comedy never stops. The film strikes a balance between spoof and tribute, like Mr. Bean colliding with James Bond. That unique mix of slapstick and spy tropes turns it into a perfect showcase for Atkinson's comic talent. With silly set pieces and quotable lines, Johnny English is one of the most enjoyable spy comedies of its decade and led to 2 equally outrageous sequels.
Look away!
After years stuck in development limbo, and following a heavily criticized appearance in X-Men Origins Wolverine, Deadpool finally burst onto screens and flipped the superhero genre on its head. Ryan Reynolds stars as Wade Wilson, a mercenary who gains superhuman powers and a twisted sense of humor after enduring unethical experiments. But this isn't a traditional hero's journey. Deadpool constantly shatters the fourth wall, pokes fun at genre norms, and turns up the violence and crude humor to maximum levels. It's foul-mouthed, graphic, and completely self-aware, and that's what makes it so effective. Reynolds is perfectly cast, delivering every sarcastic comment, crude joke, and pop culture dig with perfect timing. Driven by an unconventional marketing campaign and a relatively modest budget for a superhero movie, Deadpool went on to shock the industry by grossing $782 million globally. It redefined what comic book films could be and proved that there was a huge appetite for R-rated, irreverent action comedies.
Sure. Here's my invitation.
After the monumental success of Terminator 2, James Cameron could have taken on any project, and he chose to make an action comedy. The result was True Lies, a high-powered spy adventure blended with a hilarious look at a troubled marriage, starring Arnold Schwarzenegger and Jamie Lee Curtis in 2 of their most charismatic roles. Schwarzenegger plays Harry Tasker, who leads a double life. To his wife Helen, he's a dull computer salesman. In reality, he's a secret agent tasked with stopping global threats. When his spy world collides with his home life, chaos and comedy ensue. The movie balances explosive action, like motorcycle chases and fighter jet battles, with domestic humor, including Harry's jealous blunders and Helen's growing suspicion. It's the mixture of these 2 tones that gives True Lies its heart and energy. At the time of release, it was the most expensive movie ever made, and the scale is unmistakable. It delivers thrills, laughs, and even romance. Once again, Cameron swung for the fences and hit the target. The modern action comedy wouldn't exist without 48 Hours, a film that not only pioneered the buddy cop genre, but also launched Eddie Murphy into instant stardom. Murphy plays Reggie Hammond, a smooth-talking convict temporarily sprung from jail to help tough, worn-out cop Jack Cates track down a pair of dangerous criminals. The 2 men clash from the start, and that friction is where the magic lies. Murphy brings quick wit, charm, and unfiltered energy, while Nolte delivers the gruff, no-nonsense edge. Their bickering slowly evolves into trust, but not without plenty of shouting, punching, and insults along the way. Directed by Walter Hill, 48 Hours combines hard-edged crime storytelling with razor-sharp humor. It was bold for its time and remains a benchmark for the genre. Without it, we likely wouldn't have Lethal Weapon, Rush Hour, or Bad Boys. This is the movie that started it all. Mix kung fu, ancient magic, and a clueless truck driver, and you get Big Trouble in Little China, a genre-bending cult favorite that's as wild as it is unpredictable. Directed by John Carpenter and starring Kurt Russell as Jack Burton, the film tosses an everyday trucker into a supernatural showdown in San Francisco's Chinatown. Jack thinks he's the action hero, but the story constantly reminds us he's more of a comic sidekick caught in over his head. From martial arts showdowns to floating monsters and ancient curses, the movie is a chaotic mix of Eastern mysticism and Western satire. Russell's performance is a clever parody of the macho action lead, brave but mostly bumbling, talkative, and rarely in control. Though it underperformed at the box office and left Carpenter frustrated with Hollywood, Big Trouble in Little China found a devoted audience on home video. Today, it's remembered not just for its originality, but for showing how action comedies can embrace absurdity and still deliver something unforgettable. Long before Rush Hour introduced him to Western audiences, Jackie Chan reinvented martial arts cinema with Drunken Master, a 1978 classic that blended kung fu with slapstick comedy like never before. Jackie plays Wong Fei Hung, a rebellious young man sent to train under the brutal and eccentric Beggar So. What he learns is a chaotic and unorthodox fighting style known as drunken boxing. The result is a journey filled with punishment, progress, and wildly inventive fight scenes. But what truly sets Drunken Master apart is Chan's approach. He doesn't just fight, he performs. His battles are filled with clumsy movements, comic missteps, and surprising agility, all woven into a narrative of redemption and growth. He gets knocked down, embarrassed, and battered, but always gets back up stronger and funnier. The film became a sensation in Asia, turned Chan into a superstar, and inspired a wave of kung fu comedies worldwide. It showed that martial arts could be more than intense. They could be laugh-out-loud entertaining. Michael Bay's over-the-top action met the sharp comedic chemistry of Will Smith and Martin Lawrence. The result was Bad Boys, a franchise that brought swagger, explosions, and nonstop banter to the buddy cop formula. Smith plays the slick, fearless Mike Lowry, while Lawrence takes on the role of Marcus Burnett, a family man constantly in over his head. Their dynamic is the heartbeat of the series. One's cool under pressure, the other is frantic and funny, and together they make chaos look good. The first film in 1995 was a surprise hit, but the 2003 sequel raised the stakes with even bigger stunts and bolder humor. Then, after a 17-year gap, Bad Boys for Life reignited the franchise in 2020 with emotional weight, impressive action, and critical success. In 2024, Bad Boys Ride or Die brought the duo back once again, pushing them into a high-stakes conspiracy where they're forced to clear their names while on the run, blending the franchise's trademark humor with fresh urgency and energy. Whether it's wild car chases, explosive shootouts, or just hilarious arguments, the Bad Boys movies prove that big personalities and high-octane action can go hand in hand. When it comes to buddy cop comedy, few duos can match the electric chemistry of Jackie Chan and Chris Tucker in the Rush Hour trilogy. These movies are pure entertainment, fast, loud, culturally clashing, and endlessly quotable. Chan plays Chief Inspector Lee, a disciplined Hong Kong officer with unmatched martial arts skills. Tucker plays Detective James Carter, an impulsive, motor-mouthed LAPD cop who rarely takes anything seriously. Thrown together on cases that span from Los Angeles to Hong Kong and Paris, the mismatched pair constantly bicker, bond, and blow things up. The real magic lies in their differences. Chan brings slick stunts, graceful combat, and physical comedy, while Tucker's high-energy improvisation keeps the pace frantic and funny. And yes, Chan choreographed and performed all of his own fight scenes, bringing authenticity to every punch and fall. The first film was a sleeper hit, the second was a massive global success, and though the third entry wasn't as critically loved, it still delivered laughs and thrills. With buzz about a potential fourth film still swirling, fans are hopeful that Chan and Tucker will return for one last ride. Can't talk about action comedies without mentioning Lethal Weapon. Richard Donner's genre-defining series didn't just elevate buddy cop films, it helped invent the modern blueprint. Mel Gibson stars as Martin Riggs, a volatile, grieving detective who walks the line between brilliance and breakdown. Danny Glover plays Roger Murtaugh, the veteran cop who just wants to retire in peace. Put them together, and what follows is a perfect storm of emotional weight, brutal action, and perfectly timed humor. Their bond grows deeper with every film, tackling themes like trauma, friendship, and family without ever losing sight of the jokes. Whether it's Riggs handcuffing himself to a jumper or Murtaugh complaining that he's too old for this, the franchise delivers a unique mix of heartfelt drama and high-octane spectacle. Each sequel expanded the world without losing its emotional grounding. The fourth film, though divisive, still showcased the chemistry and longevity that made the series iconic. When it comes to action comedies, Beverly Hills Cop is the name that always comes up, and that's because of Eddie Murphy firing on all cylinders as the wisecracking Detroit detective Axel Foley. Thrown into the pristine world of Beverly Hills, Axel sticks out like a sore thumb, but that's where the fun begins. He's sharp, street smart, and always 10 steps ahead of both the criminals and the clueless local cops. Murphy's energy drives the film, turning every scene into a showcase of charisma, improv, and quick wit. The first movie was a cultural phenomenon, earning over $300 million worldwide and nabbing an Oscar nomination for Best Original Screenplay, an extremely rare feat for an action comedy. It also delivered one of the most iconic themes of the decade, Axel F. The sequels leaned more into explosive action while keeping the laughs intact. And after decades of anticipation, Beverly Hills Cop Axel F finally arrived in 2024. With Murphy back in the lead and legacy characters returning, the film aimed to bridge the past and present while giving fans the reunion they've waited years for. Beverly Hills Cop didn't just ride the wave of the genre, it helped create it. That's why it still stands as one of the most important action comedies of all time.
You alone in my apartment? The girl is not a hooker. As far as I know. Gee, I had to stash her somewhere.
From buddy cops to martial arts masters, from fast-talking detectives to total disasters who somehow save the day, these films didn't just blend genres, they mastered the mix. They gave us the laughs we didn't see coming and the action we'll never forget. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more awesome content.